being a student is now more strenuous than ever. With cost of living rising rapidly since the announcement of Brexit, the question stands, is student finance really sufficient to live on? Independent research has shown that 45,000 students study at the numerous university campuses situated around Canterbury. But with prices so high, are the government really doing enough to support them?
My name is Ben Wilborn. I'm 18 and I'm currently studying policing at Canterbury Christchurch University. When I'm not working, I spend most of my time studying. As well as being a student, I also work in Canterbury. I work at Parliament Court. I'm a customer service assistant, which means I provide just general customer service to the residents and members of the public. I'm very fortunate to be able to live here. I often enjoy taking walks along the walls. It's a good way to see Canterbury. It's also situated next to Dane John, which is a nice park to hang out with your friends. Lovely scenery as well as a fountain. However, living in Canterbury comes at an expense. The cost of living is thousands, and finding money for necessities such as food and books is extremely difficult. Finance is not sufficient to cover all these costs.
More money is owed for student loans than Brits owe on their credit cards. UK student loan debt has soared to over £100 billion. Many lecturers have agreed that the system is unfair, unsustainable and irresponsible. With the financial aid of the government, students should be able to live comfortably without the fear of running low on funds. Correct? Wrong. Theresa May has recently admitted that she believes student finance is not sufficient to live on and will be holding a review to understand further how much it really costs to be a student. With inflation on the rise, costs of living are increasing and student accommodations such as this one are finding it hard to keep the costs low.
I don't think student finance is sufficient because as a retail manager at the UK bank, I've had first-hand experience of seeing more students coming into the branch and trying to open up student accounts for student overdrafts and try and get the benefits of those student accounts because they can't afford the basic living costs just on the student finance itself. Personal opinion, I believe that student finance isn't enough. A lot of students can't afford the basic things on it, and even rather than coming in and finding out those other methods to get around that, it's still a lot to pay back, and it can really have an impact on people who go to university and trying to get themselves into a future career.
Canterbury, located in the heart of Kent, is home to renowned World Heritage sites such as Canterbury Cathedral, the River Stour and even the Marlow Theatre, and is home to over 55,000 people.
Like, the government asks you to obviously release what your parents' income is, and then if your parents are earning over a certain amount of money, you're not going to get the full extent of that loan, because they assume that because your parents are earning over 40k, I think it is, or 50k, that they can afford to pay for your accommodation. If you look at housing, housing is a lot cheaper, but you don't really get that uni experience, obviously, because if you're living in a student accommodation, you're meeting people that are in the same boat as you, you're meeting all these different people, but then at the same time you're under that safety blanket of a university. You're constantly stuck at the back of your mind, I don't have enough money for this. So you're kind of stuck in this okay, what do I sacrifice to go out and to have a social life? Because money is this big issue, and in the housing, student accommodation in Canterbury is very expensive.